Christopher Andrew Coons is Delaware's 51st senator. He's been in office since November 15, 2010, and his current term will end on January 3, 2027. Coons was born in Greenwich, Connecticut, but spent the next 30 years all over the place. His family moved to Delaware after he was born, and he grew up in Hockessin. After his parents divorced when Coons was 14, he lived with his mother in Wilmington. He went to college at Amherst in Massachusetts, and during that time he worked as a Senate intern in Washington, and briefly studied at the University of Nairobi in Kenya. After graduating from Amherst, he moved to Washington, D.C. and volunteered with the South African Council of Churches, which took him back to Kenya as a relief worker. He then moved to New York and worked with the National Coalition for the Homeless, and somehow found the time and energy to study law at Yale. After graduating, Coons worked as a clerk for Judge Jane Roth, who was the wife of Senator Bill Roth and had been one of the first female lawyers in Delaware. From there, he went on to work as a lawyer for his stepfather's company, W.L. Gore and Associates. Politically, Coons had been lightly involved throughout his adult life. He grew up Republican and campaigned locally for Ronald Reagan in 1980 and worked on the 1982 Senate campaign of Bill Roth. But his time in Kenya altered his political views. Later, when Coons ran for the Senate in 2010, his campaign manager Dave Hoffman said, "After witnessing crushing poverty and the consequences of the Reagan administration's constructive engagement with the South African apartheid regime, he rethought his political views, returned to the America he loved, and proudly registered as a Democrat." He worked on the 1988 Senate campaign of Roth's opponent, Lieutenant Governor S.B. Wu. He was a delegate to the 1996 Democratic National Convention, and he also interned for Senator Joe Biden. He finally entered politics himself in 2000, emulating Joe Biden by winning election to the Newcastle County Council. In 2004, he was elected Newcastle County Executive. And in 2010, he ran in the special election to the United States Senate to replace interim appointment Ted Kaufman and finish the term started by Joe Biden in 2009. He had expected to run against the very popular former governor and congressman Michael Castle, which would have been a difficult election. But to the surprise of everyone, Tea Party nutjob Christine O'Donnell took advantage of the rising tide of far-right lunacy and won the Republican primary. Her appeal was limited, though, when it came to the general election, and Coons won easily. He was elected to his own term in 2014 and re-elected in 2020. In that one, he defeated Lauren Witzke, another far-right weirdo who continues to make headlines for all the wrong reasons to this very day. Coons will be up for re-election in 2026. Naturally, he hasn't said if he'll be running yet, but if he does, given Delaware's recent electoral history, he'll stand a good chance of winning. That is, of course, assuming we still have elections by then. I wish that was a joke.